Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I want to talk about what I think the core of the problem in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM is, specifically in Season 2, because I do believe people had things to complain about in Season 1. The auction house tax, or the player market tax, I should say, is not great. The mode rewards have not been great, and that has continued to be true, and things of that nature. There are certain things to complain about. There is no doubt whatsoever about that. But I think the core problem that is causing my team to feel so dead here in Season 2 and so many people to go away from playing it already onto games like Fortnite. I know Modern Warfare 3 comes out this weekend and all that type of stuff. People are playing all those games instead of 2K, which was probably going to happen anyway. But with what I think honestly is the core reason that changed this game from a really honestly relatively positive direction in Season 1 to now, in my opinion, a far more negative one, was the gameplay changes that were made at the beginning of Season 2 and the patches that they did that, as Mike Wang said, made shooting a bit more challenging and skill-based, but wide open shots got a small buff. Wide open shots didn't need a buff. People were green in wide open shots. That's fine. Wide open shots going in is totally cool with me. The problem is, this, I think, was more intended to take away from all of the heavies that were going in and all of the bad shots that were going in and the crazy amount of threes that were being shot in Season 1, which is true. That was the way the game was being played. It was a very three-hunting heavy game. With that being said, that style of gameplay was, number one, more skillful, and number two, more fun to play. I think something that people are starting to lose sight of is that realism does not always result in a more fun game to play. There is only so much quote-unquote realism that can be put into a game like 2K, and against a skillful player, if you don't have creative, skillful ways to move and the ability to shoot shots when they're open, it just makes it really tough. And the contest system is so screwed up this year that it basically makes now the gameplay has become very, very ugly to watch, I would say. It's a lot more low skill, a lot more rim running. Unless you are a super skilled offensive player, it is tough to 3-hunt, and even then, it can be really tough sometimes. There are very few people actually running any sort of a 3-hunting play style. Guys like Steph Curry just aren't being used in lineups very much anymore because it is so hard to 3-hunt, whereas Steph was the best point guard in the game up until that patch. And I think, I mean, it's this patch that happened. They said they removed speed ups from jump shots, but I think y'all will all agree with me. The jump shots get slowed down way more now than they did when you get contested at all. And then the contest system is the core of the problem as well when it comes to shooting, because a defender will get through a screen from 10 feet away and get a 10% contest. Really good defenders, especially guys with challenger and stuff like that, get crazy contests on shots that should be open. And then shots that should be open, even open shots sometimes, will get slowed down so dramatically that you have no chance to shoot them. And that doesn't make any sort of sense that that would happen. It's not realistic. It doesn't happen in real life. And it's created a game where shooting is scary, especially for the casual player, kind of like last year, which leads to a play style that is very much run to the rim, bash your head against the rim, draw fouls, mash, backdoor. The Y cut is more powerful than it's ever been. It seems like that's all people do. Sometimes an unlimited is 5 out and Y cut. It is ridiculous, and it's obnoxious, and it's just a low skill, boring, unfun, ugly play style. And I understand those things can be elements of the game. You want the rim run to be an element of the game. You want the mid-range to be an element of the game. The mid-range isn't really that much of an element to this game anymore unless you're wide open anymore, though, because at first you could shoot some contested mid-range and some tough shots. You can't really hit tough shots anymore. It's becoming more and more, honestly, with the way this game is now being changed, it's going to require players to be even more meta with meta releases, meta SIGs. Like, you're going to want meta size players. You're going to want big players with good animations and good releases, all that type of stuff. Obviously, you already want all those things, but when the game is so hard to create the open shot and to play skillfully, the few cards that can play skillfully are going to become more and more just like head and shoulders above everybody else. It's going to create less of a competitive balance in this game. I just don't think in general that, I don't know, it makes everything, it's going to be the same again because you can't shoot with different players and different things just don't work, and it's just going to become, I don't know. I'm just so frustrated about the way that this game has been changed. And Mike Wang said this about after the patch. He was talking about the options that they have for shooting. But these options, I mean, it's an interesting point what he's saying about because what he says here is basically there's two options for shooting. He can keep pure green windows, but really good players are going to be able to shoot really, really well, and it makes it very hard for a casual player because they have to make the green windows really small if there's a pure green window, because it makes shooting hard for a casual. Then you have a bigger green window, but the excellent timing boost is basically it gives you an RNG. So you might green the shot and miss it occasionally is what that is. There's not always going to be a pure green window. You're not always going to make the shot if you green it. Basically brings back a straight arm. If y'all remember straight arms or whatever they were called back in the day. But my problem with this is you could do either of these things. And I'm honestly not even sure totally where we are right now on this. The problem is more so the changes in the shot timing that makes it so hard to shoot, especially when a shot is contested at all. And then with the contest system being as gassed as it is, the only way to score is to fade off of screens with players who are fading if you're going to try to shoot threes. And that's not a fun play style to play against. Fades are too good in this game. And then regular standstill shots that you get that you create an open look you shouldn't have to be wide spanking open to shoot a three and get a normal shot timing on it. And that's generally speaking the way you have to shoot the vast majority of your threes right now. Occasionally you won't get sped up and you'll be able to green something like a lightly or something, but it's really rare, not common at all anymore. And even an open shot, not just a lightly up, an open to a 5%, like those should be consistently greenable in my opinion, and they're just not right now, which I am not a fan of. I think the shooting has become so challenging for the casual player that it has made it very, very uninviting for the casual player to play. People are not having as much fun because all they're playing against is backdoor cuts and mashing and blow skill, boring, frustrating offense to play against, and they can't counter it with a more skillful offensive style because that skillful offensive style has been so capped by 2K. They just continue to take away all the skillful stuff too. They've taken away the walkbacks. They've changed the way bursts work. It seems like it's always catering to the quote-unquote Sim Nation realism people, which is okay to a certain extent, but it takes away from the fun of the game. People are not having fun right now with the playstyle that you are forced to play. You can't 3-hunt at a high level. It's just not going to work unless you're fading off of screens or a truly exceptional player. Even then, it's just, I don't know. I'm just so frustrated about play. I have not enjoyed playing this game at all in Season 2 is basically what I'm saying. I have had a miserable time playing Unlimited or really playing any online mode in Season 2, but especially Unlimited. It is boring, frustrating, repetitive offense against players who are not that great at the game, but just mash, and then they sit on the CPU defense. I haven't even talked about the defense. The shooting got screwed up at the beginning of Season 2. The defense has been screwed up all year. Why is one of the best defensive ways that you can play in this entire game, unless you are a very highly skilled defensive player, a competitive level player, the vast majority of people, the best way for them to play defense is to sit on their center or whoever is guarding the corner and not interact with any of the other actions on the court at all. Just corner sit and let the CPUs play AI defense for them. The CPU off-ball defense is better than it's ever been, and I don't mind off-ball defense being okay. You don't want the CPUs to be complete idiots, but they shouldn't be absolutely clamping up and getting through every single screen better than a user can even do it. It's ridiculous how good the CPU off-ball defense is this year, and that combined with the screwed up contest system, combined with the screwed up shooting, combined with all the other issues, not to mention latency that seems to have been reintroduced in Season 2. They said they patched it. I don't feel like it. My games are horrible latency half the time, and I can't trigger my dribble moves anyway. I'm sure you'll have heard me complain in my videos about how it's not letting me do my dribble moves. I'm not making excuses. I literally will flick my stick to do a dribble move and it just won't do it, or it'll be super duper delayed for no reason, and that happens way too often as well. There are so many issues with the gameplay right now. I know I'm ranting at this point, I'm sorry, but there are so many issues with the gameplay right now that are just absolutely ruining the game, and it's really sad because Season 1 it was fun. Even with the AI defense being as souped up as it was, with the way shooting was, it was still fun to play. You could still shot create and have fun, and the game didn't seem to have as much latency either. Now it has horrible latency. The AI defense is still ridiculously overpowered, but now the contest system is ridiculous. The slowdowns are awful. It's just an absolute mess, and it's not fun to play. I don't know if y'all are having fun. Me personally, I have not been having fun playing this game in Season 2. And at its core, 2K, regardless of all the content or whatever else you want to complain about, the gameplay has to be fun. I don't think it was very fun last year. This year, it was fun for the first season, and then it has just gone away from being fun. And I think that is so disappointing because they actually released, in my opinion, a very solid, very fun to play game. Even casuals have fun being able to make tough shots and having bigger green windows and being able to create more shots and do that. Casuals will have fun with that. And it's not a bad thing to have a skill gap. I mean, 3-hunting is one of the bigger skill gaps in this game. And if you are good at it and this game the game rewards you for it, you should get rewarded for it and be able to play that play style. And right now, that's just not viable, which I think really sucks. It forces people to play very similarly in a very, very lame way, in all honesty. And it's really, really disappointing because, like I said, I actually do think they did a good job this year. Last year was just a disaster as a whole, content, gameplay, the bans, all that stuff, whatever. This year, though, it started off well, I thought, gameplay-wise, at least the content was looking promising, and content still looks semi-promising, but there's too many issues with lock-ins and stuff, but the gameplay is really the thing that's, I think, driving people away from the game mode, because I honestly think if the gameplay was fun, people would be playing. because the rewards are not that bad this year, and the game is actually decently rewarding to play. But if you don't enjoy playing, you're not going to get any rewards. It's just, I don't know. It's not a good situation that 2K is in, unfortunately. But hopefully we will see some changes, and the game will become more fun to play. Honestly, why can't they just revert it back to the way it was in Season 1 and then leave it? It's fun. It's okay if people hit heavy sometimes. We'll live. I want to have fun, and this isn't fun right now. Plain and simple. With that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.